I don't know if I'm going to show any clips in this review because it's so late. I just want to get it done. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Look at me just coming in the room talking. It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Heart and Hustle Houston, Season 1, Episode 3. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. I have my retainer in, so everything gonna sound real funny. I don't want to take it out because I need to wear it all day today, all day tomorrow, all day, every day this week. Because, yeah. But if it sounds a little funny, that is why. I do not know how I feel about this episode. I watched it with my friend. Oh, let me take it out. It's just, it was gonna bother me. I watched it with my friend, and even me and her had different opinions on what happened. But I will say, overall, I do think these ladies are I do think there's a bit of sensitivity playing. I was hesitant to say people were being sensitive because how a person feels, if you made a person feel a certain type of way, I think it's a little gaslighty to tell them they're being sensitive when it really was a serious thing. But in this regard, I think there was some words being said that really were not meant to harm. And the person on the other, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I had a range of emotions, though. So I'm going to tell you all the ranges that I had as I watched. The ladies meet up at the spa. Now, I'm already irritated because all of the ladies were not invited. So we're already starting off a little something. Now, Labrina says she didn't invite Elena and Chloe because of what happened last time, and she wants this to be a peaceful environment. I personally think that there was a way to do that while still inviting all of the ladies. You could have just said as soon as they came in, y'all, I don't want no mess. We here to relax. We here to have a good time. But that may not always go over well. Or I would have called them each individually and be like, would you be okay coming to meet with all the ladies? Like, do you feel like y'all have squashed it? Because I really don't want it to come up again, especially not when we're having a spa day. I don't know, but I understand her not wanting it to be drama. I just know how it's probably going to look. So the ladies come, they get their individual treatments. Her and Latoya go off in a separate area, like in the bath. The spa is really nice, by the way, very pretty. And that is when Labrina asks her about the man at the rodeo, convinces her to call him because, you know, maybe they need to have a little conversation about some things, because Latoya said, you know, they know each other in circles and work in circles, and maybe they could do something. He is cute. She had never seen him outside of his work clothes, and she does end up giving him a call. I don't think he feeling her like that. The only reason I don't think so is because when a man want to see you, I done told a man that I had a flight to catch at 3 o'clock in the morning. That man still wanted to see me that evening before I packed. So if they really, really want to see you, they will come see you. I believe I done had somebody meet me at the airport once because I was on my way out. But bottom line, if they want to see you, they'll make arrangements. They won't put it off a week or 2 weeks. They will make it happen as quickly as possible. So I don't really think he's that interested in Latoya, but maybe he didn't know how to or maybe he believes they're friends and, you know, we're just friends meeting up. But it remains to be seen. I could be wrong about that. But I was proud of Latoya for doing it. I think she went into the conversation real smooth. And she, you know, she linked up with him, said we can go have some drinks for happy hour. So I thought it was cool. It was a cool little girl moment to giggle about. When they meet back up, Ro, who has had a conversation with Chloe either at the beginning of this episode or the end of the last episode about what Latoya said. Okay, Elena basically said you can't get a man like hers. Chloe said she gonna let it rest. She not gonna say nothing. She gonna leave it alone, which I think was smart because it ain't even, y'all squashed it, so let's not re-dig anything back up. Ro feel like everything should be out on the table. If you say something like that about me and I hear about it, I'm gonna say something to you. I respect both, but I think the better idea was what Chloe was going to do. Ro one of them friends that she gonna get offended for you. Okay, so she was like, well, she ain't here to bring it up, so I'm gonna bring it up. So she ends up bringing up to Latoya her comment. She was like, let's talk about what you said. And everybody's just like, what I say? And she was like, you was being messy, and you brought up the fact that Elena said Chloe couldn't get no man like Josh or something like that. And she was like, well, it wasn't mess. It was what was said. She said that the type of men that Elena can get and the type of men that Chloe can get is totally different. She can't get a man like Josh. She did say that. So all the girls are just like, whoo, child, kind of looking around. And Ro is just kind of, Ro don't really say much. I don't think she expected LaToya to repeat what she said, but LaToya did. I still think that it was messy for LaToya to say that. Even if it was factual that it was said, you really could have just left that out, because that was a private conversation that you and Elena had. You didn't need to bring it back up, especially when you knew that it was going to irritate some of the drama that they already had. But it's already been said and done. You owning the fact that you said it. Okay, cool. Then that actually, I got one more thing to bring up that happened before this, but I'll talk about it in a minute. That moves into, her talking about the phone call that she made to the guy, laughing about it, and Ro asking her, well, when the last time you had sex? And she said it just like that, y'all. I'm not exaggerating. She literally, they was laughing, and she was like, when the last time you had sex? LaToya said 3 years ago. And Munira says, because she's a child of God. And Ro was like, you just be saying it. And LaToya was like, excuse me, I don't say that all the time. And I said, woman of God, but I don't say that all the time. She was like, you have said it a couple times. These girls get caught up in semantics. If I say I don't say something all the time, let's assume I mean once or twice. If I said it more than once, that don't mean I say it all the time, right? So Ro was confusing me. In one instance, she was saying she felt like she was being judged when they had the conversation at dinner. Ro was talking about sex, and that is another time that LaToya brought up she was a woman of God and she just don't talk about certain things. She don't do toys. She want a man that can spiritually cover her. She's expressed that she is waiting on the right type of godly man to, fill her cup, if you will. And so Ro was just like, I felt like you was judging me that night. Like, I feel like I'm being judged. And you're not being judged, Ro. She just don't talk about sex the way that you talk about sex. Then she moves into, but it's not about that. It's not really about that. It's not about being judged. It's about me making people feel uncomfortable in the moment. Well, if you felt like you made her feel uncomfortable, then the thing for you to do would be to either stop talking about it or ask her, do you feel uncomfortable when I talk about sex? Because I'll stop. And LaToya was like, I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm cool. I just don't want to talk about me doing it. That's all. Now, I was going to hold my thoughts about LaToya, but I'll say this. I do think she is looking for a certain type of man. I do believe that she is, she say she a God-fearing woman, so she a God-fearing woman. That looks all different kind of ways. But what I don't get from her, I really don't get that I'm just an innocent party. I like to stay out of the drama. I like everybody to get along. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I don't know exactly why I don't. I just don't believe that somebody would bring up that comment and not like a little bit of drama. Old girl, you noticed her friend, quote unquote, is going to be on the next episode. Even her interaction and her engagement with that girl. Like, I know her, but I don't really know her. Just something about it. This is just something. My spidey senses tingle with LaToya. And we going to see. It remains to be seen. I can't go all the way for it because I don't got what I need. You know what I mean? To just go for it. But I don't know. Anybody else getting it or just me? So Ro is going on about how she felt and what they having this back and forth. They not gonna agree. But bottom line is, Ro, if you want to talk about sex, talk about sex. Don't expect everybody to be open and comfortable to talking about their sex life. But if they're listening and if they're not, sometimes people make a face. If you're going to be open, you just got to be open. You can't worry about what people's reactions are going to be to it. Or maybe y'all don't mesh well and maybe you just need to, keep it cute with her. Maybe you don't have as much open dialogue and conversation when you around LaToya if you yourself are feeling uncomfortable. But if you're feeling uncomfortable because she's not sharing, that's a personal problem that you need to address. Nobody has to share their sex life or any of their other personal business with you. You said that you are an open book, so be an open book. Or do you see something in her that's irritating you? Does the woman of God thing irritate you? Do you know women who went to church and you felt like they judged you? Does the more elusive types, do they irritate you? Do you wish you were more elusive? Figure out what that is, Ro. Figure out what that is and then get back to us. And we gonna move from there. Because I feel like sometimes you can see something in somebody and you don't really know. They're not being offensive towards you, but there's just something about you. Maybe they remind you of another person, or Maybe there's something about them that you kind of wish you could do too, but you ain't. Like, let's say you wish you was a little bit more mysterious and you could hold stuff close to the vest. You wasn't as much of an open book. Seeing somebody do that and do it so well, maybe that would be like, she irritate me. Like, why she don't want to tell me what's going on? So you just got to figure out which one it is, bro. Because we were getting confused. I was getting confused. Now, there was another part that happened prior to this I forgot to mention when they all arrived, and Munira came kind of comfortable. You know, she came in her jogging. This is how I would have came to the spot too. She came very comfortable. Latoya was a little more dressed up, and Munira was like, yeah, girl, I just came in my joggers. This is how I like to come, relaxed. And she was like, yeah, it's still cute though. It's still very cutesy, very this. Don't people always say very cutesy, very demure? Do people not say that a lot now? Why do Munira take offense and say, well, I mean, not cute, not cutesy? And she was like, because, you know, you like I think Latoya, I don't think she meant nothing by it, by saying, like, you know, cute. You look cute. You look like a little, I'm sure like a little baby doll. Or she does kind of have that look sometimes. And she made some comment like, you know, did she say she looked, oh, you look 11. And she was like, no, don't do that. I don't look 11. She said, okay, 11 plus 11, 22. I think she meant it as a compliment for sure. We find out Munira has this little thing where she don't like people commenting about her look and making her feel small, basically, making her feel young, making her feel like a baby. Again, all right, we gonna get more into it when we talk about the conversation her and Ro had. But again, so I just think y'all getting caught up in these words. That's not really, I don't think they're that serious, but they're triggering you because of something separate. I don't think Latoya meant I would call a girl cute. I'd have called a very big girl cute. If you cute, you're cute to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm stressing out for no reason. Okay, now I do want to move into the conversation that Ro and Munira had. They meet up, and that is when Munira says that she used to get called, like, because she looks young, she used to get called a lot of little names. Or like when Latoya suggested, I guess she doesn't drink, Latoya was like, oh, what do you have? Do you have an apple juice? And she feels like they're taunting her. It feels taunting to her. Ro kind of compares it to her being a bigger girl, having a big butt. People always made comments about her body, how big she was, how tall, like big, like tall, and statuesque she was. And she was like, okay, what else is going on? That must be how you feel when somebody always is calling you cute, saying you look like a baby, saying you look young, all this stuff, right? Cool. I actually can relate to this. I had a friend that used to always comment about, like, oh, y'all can go get y'all bras from Walmart. Y'all can go do this. Y'all can go do that. Y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all skinny. Like, because we were smaller than her, or because somebody was extremely petite, like, they could just go buy clothes from anywhere. And what they was worried about all of this stuff for, they ain't got no body. They ain't got this. And I told her one time, if we called you obese, we would be wrong. You know, like, I can't say, oh, well, you know, your fat ass got to go. I can't talk to you like that. So don't talk to me like that. I don't got no problem being whatever size I am, but let's not make it a thing, you know? And if you feeling some type of way about your size, do something about it. Because, yeah, it do go hand in hand. Just like you don't want to get called fat, a very petite person don't want to be reminded all the time how little they are. So I understand the conversation that's going on here. I just don't think Latoya was meaning anything by it when she said she was cute. I really don't. I really do not think so. And I don't think Munira looks that young. Like, she got the doe eyes, so she has a youthful look to her. But to me, Munira looks like a woman who, at the youngest, is in her 30s. Like, I don't think she looked like she in her 20s at all. She don't carry herself like that. She don't dress like that. Like, I know a grown woman when I see one. She look like a grown woman. Like, I guess if y'all all stripped down to a t-shirt and some shorts, I might have to look a little bit harder to see who the grown one was in the group. She is petite, but other than that, like, I don't know. I know she's worked in a certain male-dominated field. Men always treat you like a baby. You know, I work around a bunch of men. I'm a grown-ass women. They treat all of us like that. It don't matter what we look like. They treat us like some kids. and my job anyway. And they know I'm grown. So it just, military too. Your ladies, y'all know how it can be in the military. The men be talking to us like we 10, child. So it happens, you know, and I just come to accept it. I've told men how old I am, and they always shocked. And I'm like, I look grown. I do not look like Munira, but same thing, same things kind of happen. But I don't think it would be enough to trigger me if somebody I was building a friendship, especially, was to say like, you so cute or this or that. I don't know. I think Munira is bringing triggers from another space into this space. And maybe her and Ro are relating on that tip. I don't know. It ain't nothing I would go at Latoria about. Not this. It might be something else, but not this. So, yeah, I'm asking myself why this is happening. I see it. I see what they saying, but I just think a bigger deal is being made out of it. What do y'all think, though? Because I could be reading this wrong. Now we're going to move into Ro's therapy session, and I actually need to watch it again before I comment on it. All right, so the therapy session, they get into, usually when you first start going into therapy, you kind of just, y'all do a mass dump of all the things that y'all need to talk about. So she does bring up just work and how she's always been concerned about getting her money and doing the things that she needs to do. She talks about the relationship with her daughter. The therapist tries to get her to realize you are her example. You don't want her to be masking her feelings the way you've had to mask yours. You want to understand. And she also applauded Ro on apologizing to her daughter during times where she got frustrated with her and didn't want to be bothered. They talked about just breaking certain generational things that may have happened to Ro, experiencing new things. When they get on the subject of vulnerability and being authentic, she brings up the ladies and how she feels like she can't always be herself around them. And she makes a comment about Latoria and how she is around Latoria versus how Latoria responds. And the therapist is not wrong, but she's not right either. But the only reason I disagree with the therapist because I don't think the therapist has all the facts. But the therapist says that when you are being authentic, you will kind of move away those people that are being inauthentic. But who's to say that Latoria is being inauthentic as much as she is just different from Ro? Like, doesn't want to talk about the things that Ro is more open or expressive about. So I kind of am a little iffy with that narrative, but I understand what the therapist is saying as well. Like, when you move in an authentic way, it will move away. And sometimes I think that's more spiritual than anything. People who are not being authentically themselves, right? It may cause them to feel some type of way. But I don't know if that's what's going on in this situation as much as I don't know you yet. And so I don't discuss sex with you because we don't know each other that well. Or I don't discuss sex with anybody because sex is like one of those private things to me, right? So I'm not really sure about that one. It remains to be seen. But I get what the therapist was trying to do because this is the therapist. Like, of course, she's going to break it down this way, right? Y'all, I just had to do this whole part over because I was calling Chloe's man Josh. I think the boy's name was Jordan. The young man's name was Jordan. I think. I might just call him the young man. So Labrina is having a crawfish boil. And y'all, while Labrina was walking like her damn feet was hurting, I think that skirt she had on was tight. But before they get to the crawfish boil, I did skip a little part where Latoria and Chloe meet up. And Latoria tells her what happened at the spa. Chloe was just like, I wasn't even invited to the damn spa. Y'all, don't shoot me, y'all. But I really do enjoy Chloe. I enjoy Chloe. I enjoy her antics. I think she is so damn funny. But yeah, so Chloe is just like, I wasn't even invited to the spa. Why you telling me what was going on? But they had a conversation about Ro and Latoria, and Chloe is just like, you know what? I think Ro might have been tripping a little bit. We both vocal. We'll talk about our business. You just not like that. And she just said, Latoria is a cool girl. It ain't even got to be all of that. I think Ro kind of, it was a little misplaced. She'll learn you. She'll understand all of that. I appreciated Chloe for not making it bigger than what it was. When they get together to crawfish boil, Chloe already knows she finna come in there with her man and make a splash, all right? I'm about to show y'all what a real fine man is. And he was cute. I'm gonna give her a props. He was cute. Everybody said he was cute. So they come in there, and Latoria asks, during this time they at the pool, Elena and Josh, since they didn't get to have a full wedding, would they do a renewal ceremony at the 15-year mark, which is coming up soon for them. Josh says, I don't know, maybe we'll wait till 20. This visibly upsets Elena. You know, you could tell she is irritated by it. And she's feeling somewhat deflated. Everybody else is just kind of like, well, damn. You know, it all causes a thing, right? So this is where I get my issue with Latoya. Now, I know people are going to be like, she didn't mean nothing by it. She probably thought she was helping. Did she? Because she said at the spa to the other ladies, Elena clearly has her defenses up about her relationship and it doesn't have anything to do with us. So if you know that, why would you bring up vow renewal in front of her and her husband and think it was helpful? And also threw Chloe in too, because she playing Fabulous Weddings. Do you understand what I'm saying to y'all? That's why I still got my eye on her. Jury's still out. Okay. I'm going to bring up something important that Latoya said at Chloe's house later. Remind me, like y'all here. So then they sit down and they start eating their crawfish, and they bring up this conversation again. Elena actually brings it up to Josh, like, why not do it now? It's urgent for her. It's Love Jones for her. Why is it not urgent to you? And Josh says, I just think we got time. We don't need to do it right now. We're not in a position to do it right now. I think we could do it at the year 20 mark. Let's do it at 20. Here come Chloe, and I think Chloe feel like she helping her girl out when she says this. She was like, well, look, when you've been through what I've been through, you don't want to wait. You need to do it right now. All right? Ain't no telling. Y'all might not make it to 20 years. And I don't think she meant breaking up 20 years, but like, what if one of y'all not here no more? Like in my situation, right? So somebody asked Chloe, would she be ready to get married? And Chloe's just like, I'm always ready to get married. I'm ready to get married right now. I love getting married. Oh, gosh, y'all. Josh looking around. Not Josh. See, I done messed his name up again. Jordan looking around like, to who? But Elena, I guess because she uncomfortable, she got to make somebody else uncomfortable. So she tells Jordan, you know, I don't know if I would really do that. As far as like marriage is something very serious. And I just don't know, being with somebody younger, like that's just something I've never done and could never do, especially with such an age gap. Like, she really speaking her piece and nobody asked her. And Jordan was just like, well, do I act young? Am I behaving like a young person? And Latoya and the rest of the girls is like, no, you're not. I'll give you, he ain't giving young, no. And she was like, but the look, it's guys that look like that in high school. Like, what do you mean? Like, do you look young? It's guys that look like that in high school. What the hell high school you went to, Elena? You must have went down with the big back Mississippi men went to school. Because I ain't never seen no men like that in South Carolina at my high school. Now, and them boys are thick. All right? I ain't never seen that level of peak testosterone down to my high school. Now, when I got to college, them boys from Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, them boys was big, okay? Them was linemen. But I don't see too many Jordans in the high school hallways. So, Elena, what school you went to, baby? You didn't mean that. You was just trying to do you was uncomfortable, so you was going to make him uncomfortable. You thought making him uncomfortable would make Chloe uncomfortable, and it wasn't. It wasn't given that. It wasn't working because you are the only person who gets to control that insecurity and that uncomfortability that you have. It don't work when you try to do it to other people. Cut it out. All right. Your man said he didn't want to marry you at 15, the 15-year mark. You deal with that in your household. Don't take it out on everybody else. So anyway, once that is done, Labrina got to pull Jordan to the side because I got to see if you for real about my girl. Every friend group got one of these. And Chloe was just like, okay, girl, quiz him up. Let me know the results. She don't care. And while they do have a good conversation, and he does say he's serious about her, he wants to meet her kids. He knows that she want to have more kids. He got some kids to bring to the. I said, how many kids he got? Because he ain't but 28. Now, hell. Of course, you hope they have a good time together, but I don't. I don't know if I see this working. Chloe's in her 40s, and she talking about she want more children. This boy is 28. He already got kids. Is it one or two? Is it one baby mama? Like, it might be a lot. It might be a little much. But I do think he is as serious as he can be about her. I'll just leave it at that. We move on from there, right? The girls get together at the table to have a little round table discussion. They get up to have a little chat. Forgive me, y'all. I do not know where Chloe went in this moment. But the girls go to the side so that they can talk. I don't know if she left or what. I really can't. I'm just now realizing she wasn't in the scene. So a couple of things are happening here during this conversation. One of the things that's happening is Ro telling them about her therapy session, how she used to not really deal with, and where's Elena too? Did they go have a separate? I'll go back and rewatch this scene. But we got Ro talking about her therapy session and how everything went, and letting the ladies know, like, I used to really not fool with. I've had trouble with women in relationships. It's not something I'm familiar with. And she was talking to her therapist about it and talking about the situation that happened with her and Latoria and how she had brought it up. And Latoria told her, like, I even feel like you telling us that was an example of you being vulnerable and being transparent. Latoria trying to, get with it. We talking about therapy. Cool. I understand that. Ro turns around, was just like, yeah, because it kind of felt like I couldn't be myself. Like, around you, I couldn't really be myself. And she was just like, you can be yourself. I felt like I was offending you. You weren't offending me. I felt like you was judging me. You were not judging me. I didn't feel, if you felt judged, my bad. You can talk about whatever you want when you talk to me. I just had certain things. Then they kind of go back and forth about the child of God, woman of God, semantics situation. To which Latoria was just like, I am that, but that doesn't mean that you can't be expressive and that you can't be yourself. And Ro was like, yeah, because I didn't know that, because we still getting to know each other. So now I know that. Now I understand. She remind me of so many girls I know. LaBrita just kind of sitting there, child. I don't know where she fall in the equation. And so Morena says, you know how you corrected her on the child of God versus woman of God? Well, that's how I felt when you called me cute. I don't appreciate none of that. I know how I might look, but I don't like to be called cute. I don't like to be referenced as the one getting the apple juice. I don't like to be referenced as a little girl and young girl. And she was just like, oh my gosh, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, because what? What? What is going on? What are we talking about here? What is the big deal? What are we upset about? Like, y'all girls gonna have to pull it together. Y'all got to pull it together. And so then as they go back and forth about it, Morena was like, well, we don't got to keep getting caught up in the details, but just know I don't like it. So when Ro and Latoria are off to the side about to have a shot, Latoria was just like, I didn't know I offended her. I just won't say nothing like that no more. And Ro was like, but I'm saying I don't want you to shut down. What the hell do y'all want this girl to do? Now, she brought up herself, like, back in the day, being dark skinned and people kind of like harping on her. And I must say, I do feel like y'all are harping on this girl for nothing when it comes to these little things right here. It's other stuff we could talk about, but I don't think she was being shady with you, Morena. I really don't. And Ro, I just think you don't know her that well. So she didn't know how to receive you at the time. Nobody's judging y'all. Nobody's looking at y'all crazy. I don't know. This episode had me in my brain. But y'all let me know what y'all thought. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to see y'all for the next one. All right? Okay. I'm tired. Bye.